So Paul tells the Usos that Roman Reigns forgives them, but he will not be out at the ring for their match tonight because he's got too much on his plate. And their match tonight is the Usos against Rey Mysterio and Pablo Escobar, the LWO that they have revived. And so obviously you can kind of see what's going to happen here. Of course, they went 2 minutes to the break. And when they came back, there was nothing wrong with this match. It's just I zoned out. Again, Rey Mysterio and Escobar have been a team for 4 weeks. The Usos, it's not a title match anymore. The Usos, you know they're going to get beat here because Roman's still got to be mad at them. The only thing wrong with it from a match standpoint that I saw is I'm about fed up with the Usos looping right uppercut punches with an open hand that you can see a mile away. Have you noticed that?
Off the top of my head, no, but I'm sure now that you said it, I certainly will next time.
And Roman does the same thing, but he's a little slicker with it. But if every time that the Usos, they're doing the slap with the left hand on the shoulder, but their right hand is wide open, not even loosely closed. If we had video, I would show you about 7 different ways you can hold your hand to throw a punch, and this is not one of any of them. But anyway, so the Usos couldn't put Rey Mysterio away, but finally they go for the double splash off the top turnbuckle, but Escobar nails one, and Owens comes down and draws the referee, and Sammy pushes the other Uso off the top, and Rey hits the 619, and Escobar hits the splash off the top. 1, 2, 3, the Usos lose, and Roman Reigns is highly perturbed at that. And that was 2 hours of SmackDown. I mean, again, on the other program, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen from 1 second to the other. It's all going to look phony, and it's probably going to make no sense, but at least there's constantly chaos going on. And on the other side of the fence, it's a long slog to see anything interesting whatsoever. But it's all done professionally, and mostly nobody's getting hurt.
All right, another exciting episode of SmackDown.
But I'll tell you, Brian, I don't know whether they answered the most pressing question of today on the SmackDown episode or any of the other wrestling programs that we've watched. The most pressing thing that I want to know, Brian, I've got to ask you right now. When you wake up in the morning, sometimes do you feel a little green around the gills, as Aunt Lola used to say? Do you poop out at parties? Do you stoop and strain? Do you sometimes have the sour belches at odd times during the day?
During the day or when I wake up? You started this by asking, do I wake up feeling all of these things?
No, do you wake up feeling green around the gills? Do you have sour belches at odd points during the day? Do you stoop and strain at various times? You know, back in the old days, what they would do is they'd just throw you a couple of Dr. Proctor's Red Rectum Rockers, say, take this with a glass of water, you'll be fine. And you'd probably be deceased about 6 weeks later. But the thing is, Brian, now that we have the science and the technology, and we've got scientists on this thing and smart people, graduates of major universities, our friends at Seed have given us the inside scoop on how your gut and your gut health can affect your entire life and your entire body. For example, Brian, did you know that the gut and the immune system work together to carefully coordinate our body's response to the world around and within us? An intrinsic connection known as the gut immune axis. Even before we're born, microbes help set the foundation of our immune system, teaching our body how to distinguish between benign substances and pathogenic antigens, poisonous substances. And this relationship continues to develop throughout our lives until, well, it's just positively a romance between the gut and the immune system, except if you piss your gut off. If you don't take care of your gut, if you make too many trips to White Castle, your gut, Brian, is a vengeful gut. And it will get even. It will bring medieval fire and furor down upon you. If your gut is pissed off at you, look at the number of ways that it can fuck with your life. If your gut's mad, it'll make you shit fire and barbed wire. If your gut's
What?
pissed off at you, it'll make you puke your toenails up, projectile vomiting. If your gut is mad at you, it'll reach right up above it, snatch your heart, it's in the vicinity, and pull it right out your asshole.
You know, this is not the way any of this. Well, I mean, this is just
What?
this is crazy. This is all crazy.
Well, no, it's crazy to allow this to happen. Your gut is going to get even with you one way or the other unless you take care of your gut. And I'm talking be nice to your gut. Do not forget any of the gut-oriented holidays, cards, fiber, but also with Seeds DS01 Daily Synbiotic, because that takes care of your gut. For example, and here another thing, the gut controls your skin. Skin health? Did you know that? The probiotics and the prebiotics and the organisms and the pathogens and all those things that scientists have discovered over the last few years, if your gut decides that it doesn't like your skin, it'll make your skin turn purple and pink and fall off. So
what? Your skin is going to fall off?
Your skin can rot right off your body. You'll just be walking down the street, shedding skin everywhere. Kids will be tripping over it.
Pink and purple, rotten skin?
Pink and purple, rotten, and polka dotted.
And polka dotted, really?
Because gut health controls your digestive health, your skin health, your heart health. I mentioned the heart before that might fall out your asshole.
Well, that must tie into the polka dots, I assume.
Exactly, because it models and it, as it rots, it grows mold and, and then things form. And you could be growing mushrooms off your goddamn skin if it rots far enough before it falls off. So the point is, with these Seeds DS01 Daily Synbiotic, it includes 16 of the 24 strains are specifically geared toward digestive health. And Seeds DS01 Daily Synbiotic has 4 specific probiotic strains that promote healthy skin. See, there you got your digestion, which reinforces healthy stool hydration and ease of evacuation. Boy, sometimes my stool is hydrated to the point it looks like a fucking fire hose, but nevertheless.
Your stool itself looks like a fire hose, or it looks like what would come out of a fire hose?
The evacuation is very easy. And you have an occasional gastrointestinal discomfort associated with increased intestinal transit time. That means that shit ain't moving quick enough. So, boom, it'll speed that shit. It's like a traffic cop for poop. And then you've got your heart health, which is going to help maintain your blood cholesterol levels and support healthy intestinal recycling of cholesterol and bile. They recycle everything these days. I don't know why they'd want to recycle your bile. I have plenty of my own. I don't need to have somebody else's, but they will collect your bile and recycle it and give it to the needy that don't have enough bile. And if you're interested in discussing gut barrier integrity, gut immune function, or micronutrient synthesis.
And who isn't?
And it's all over the people's tongues these days, as well as the tips of their fingers, if they don't wipe, then, you got to investigate. Go right now to seed.com, because they'll tell you more about this than I possibly can. I'm just a layman. And I'll tell you another thing. If you take these Seeds DS01 Daily Synbiotic, it'll be easier to get laid. So you can all be laymen.
Well, that actually doesn't make any sense, and we can't promise that at all, so don't say that.
Well, it'll be if you're laying in a hospital bed with a tube stuck in your navel, sucking out all the poisonous substances of your gut because you didn't take care of your gut health, who's going to want to fuck you?
Well, that could possibly mean you won't get laid any more than you currently do, but you can't say you're going to get laid more than you do.
Well, you ain't going to get laid any less either. So therefore, go right now to seed.com.
So therefore, that's the reason why.
Therefore, seed.com/Jim and use the code Jim, and you're going to get 30% off your first month of these precious, life-giving substances known as Seeds DS01 Daily Synbiotics. Seed.com/Jim, code Jim, that's Jim for anybody who's listening to this program and doesn't know that. and you'll get 30%. It's almost like getting it for free. It's getting it for 70%, which is closer to free than 100%. So you're going to get 30% off and with a smile on your face. Seed.com/Jim, code Jim. And don't be shedding skin around the neighborhood. Try to keep your hair. Don't fucking shit fire and barbed wire. Battery acid, things like that. All these things can happen from an unhappy stomach.
Shit fire in barbed wire?
Shit fire and barbed wire.
And barbed wire.
Shit fire and barbed wire.
Makes a little more sense.
Well, what do you
why
think?
Why are you thinking of shit and barbed wire? It's like AEW.
That doesn't make any sense at all, Brian. Where's your head at?
That's the next Moxley match. We're going to shit in barbed wire.
Shit and fire. No, I've just named the next Moxley match. He's shitting fire and barbed wire. They're going to fucking put gasoline up his keister, and they're going to fucking hold a flaming piece of barbed wire, and he's going to try to light one of his farts.
It'll be like if Stallone was in Backdraft.
Except it's Rocky. 3,
5,
7.
My ring's outside.
Where is your ring this week on the Arcadian Vanguard Network, oh, Mr. Last?
My ring, shitting through barbed wire with fire. Get all the shows wherever you find your favorite podcast. Of course, information on Twitter at Superpodcast or on Facebook at facebook.com/Arcadian Vanguard. A few notes, of course, the wrestling news. Every single day, wake up to a free daily wrestling newscast covering everything that happened in the world of wrestling without opinion, without conjecture. We issue corrections whenever anything gets wrong. Check it out today. Hear wrestling news with integrity. Get it directly from thewrestlingnews.com or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Look for Arcadian Vanguard's The Wrestling News. Of course, I want to make mention of Shut Up and Wrestle with Brian Solomon. This week, his guest, Pat LaPrade, talking about Montreal and his upcoming Dino Bravo book. That should be something. Hear that today at suawpod.com or look for Shut Up and Wrestle with Brian Solomon wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And of course, the 605 Super Podcast, The Mothership!
Up.
Are you doing that intentionally or?
No, I think my batteries died.
It's like the hip-hop version of,
Maybe the button's stuck.
Oh, that one's working fine. It's just...
There, I loosened it up.
Your screaming woman is stuck.
Well, I'll let her out later. Go on.
Go through the archives. Hear lots of swimming women. Hear lots of screaming women. 605pod.com. Wherever you find your favorite podcast, go through the archives of the 605 Super Podcast. A lot of people have been going through the archives. If you're looking for the early episodes and they're not on iTunes, every episode is available for free directly from 605pod.com. The Mothership! Is that the closing bell?
Yes, the market was up today.
All right.
But anyway, yes, and who was swimming now? 6 people and a woman?
These are your words, not mine. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, those were your exact.
I don't remember it that way.
I
don't recall that.
I'm sure there's some people out there that have listened to the archives and can vouch for me. But anyway,